Hello, I am Miriam, co-founder and COO of Keto Chow.
I'm Chris, also co-founder, president, and the technical guy behind Keto Chow. If you're brand new to Keto Chow, it's a nutritionally complete meal designed to make doing keto easy. We also have some electrolyte supplements that are amazing for everyday use and for keeping the dreaded keto flu away. I almost said just the technical guy. I'm like, for everything, apparently. Anyway.
You're a technical guy.
Sure.
Be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit the little bell icon for daily updates on all our Keto Chow happenings. These live streams help us be accountable and stay on track. Thanks so much for joining us on our keto journey.
Yeah, I'm getting
Caught in licorice.
Yeah, caught in licorice. Anyway, it looks like Keto Life Granny's here, so is Carrie and Becca. Virginia's here as well. Keto Life Granny says, good morning.
Good morning.
JC Bean is here. A whole bunch of people, including Betsy, had to run off to make some coffee.
Oh, that's okay.
Okay. Let's see. Glenda says, hey, everyone, kind of late because I was making a loaf of egg protein bread and washing clothes. Visual Keo's here. So good morning, all. Rainy and chilly here in eastern Iowa. Ready for spring. Stwang is here, and Jerry is here as well. Happy hump day. It's Grilling Wednesday.
Yeah.
Do you want some of those hamburgers?
I brought some steaks.
Ah, okay.
Yep. I brought a couple of sirloin steaks. They're little though.
They're little guys?
They're so cute.
Okay, well, Shari's here. Melissa says good morning from the totally awesome Keto Chow storefront. Sandy says good morning all from not so sunny Florida, tornadoes and thunderstorms.
Oh, wow, be careful.
It's so funny. I know that they get tornadoes in Florida, but it just doesn't seem like a tornado-y place. I don't know why.
Well, we don't get tornadoes and have had some before.
Well, that's true. Now, Louisiana had some tornadoes, and so did Texas and a bunch of other places. So everybody stay safe.
Yeah.
Ron is here, says good morning, Bears and Chow fan.
Good morning.
John is here as well from his totally awesome desk.
Yes.
The Purple Lady says listening while working, minimal chat time. Let's see. Susan says good morning. Laverne.
Says hello.
Yep. Well, I already said hi to Carrie.
Oh, okay. I didn't.
Laverne says good morning from southern Alberta. Have a great day.
Hello.
Mary Jane is here. So is Dorothy. Dorothy. Oh my gosh.
It's okay.
What is my problem speaking?
Just
Dorothy.
trip over your tongue.
Yeah.
That's what I sound like when I try to say smart things.
Well, last night my mouth was so dry for some reason.
More water would help.
Yeah. Suzanne said I made key lime pudding last night. We got done and I went and drank 2 giant glasses of water.
Nice.
I was apparently super dehydrated.
I am so
let's see. Kelly says good morning from Florida. Shauna is here, says good morning, Chris and Miriam. Red Wine is here from Elk City, Oklahoma.
I want to go to Oklahoma someday.
Lynn was here right at the start. Rhiannon is here as well. Shari says made Keto Chow banana bread pudding.
Nice.
Banana and snickerdoodle combined.
That sounds amazing.
Yum.
I'm glad. Was it egg pudding or regular pudding, like with the heavy cream?
Carrie's having banana keto chow for lunch and then natural strawberry later when he goes to church.
Nice.
Betsy's making 2KK yogurt and egg pudding.
That's awesome.
I haven't made the yogurt for a while, but
I know. I keep wanting to buy the stuff, and then I forget.
Jean says, good morning, folks. Who can I call about Keto Salt Lake? Depends on what you are calling about. Actually, the better thing to do is to email us. But again, it depends on what you're calling about.
It's just us.
So he says, good morning, all. Just finished making up some Irish cream and a chocolate toffee and got them in the fridge to chill.
If you message customer service, they'll send an email over to us, and then we'll get it.
Yep. Dorothy says, I'm going to make banana keto chow pudding today. Don't have the extra banana extract or flavoring.
That's okay.
Oh, and Rhonda says that her and her family are fine. So
nice.
That's good, Rhonda.
Thank you for letting us know.
Radical Geek is looking forward to a Keto Chow creamy today.
That sounds good.
Mary says, good morning. I'll start my morning chasing wild turkeys out of the yard. They cross the border. They are American.
Those silly American turkeys.
Well, which reminded me today while I was taking Sam to school, over by his school, there's a bunch of fields with like donkeys and stuff in it.
It's houses.
Really interesting.
That just have little fields behind
Yeah.
them.
But there was
goats too.
A quail that ran across the road. I'm like, oh, look, a quail.
Where's its
and it
babies?
ran into a giant flock of quail. There was like literally over 100 quail just there by the side of the road.
Just hanging out?
On the sidewalk. And I was like, whoa.
Yeah, Sam's school has like a little petting zoo every time they go home. It's funny because they have like, and it's just people's backyards, and we're not like, I don't know, there are some farms here and there's you
Yeah.
know, but it's pretty residential, pretty suburban. But there's one section that has this big like thing like this, and the goats get up on top of the little
Oh,
stair
the
thing,
little,
and
yeah.
they butt heads
It
with
looks
each
like a
other.
doghouse.
It
Yeah.
does. But it's like the kids could just reach over the fence and touch the goat. The goats
Yeah.
could jump over the fence into where the kids are. It's so funny to me. But it's the parking lot of the school, so it's not like the playground of the
Yeah.
school. But it is funny.
Swang says, Wendy, loving on keto, convinced me to make tacos today. I guess missed Taco Tuesday.
Yes.
Most of our kids ate taco guts
I did.
yesterday. Well, it was use up all the leftovers in the fridge day.
And it was on the meal plan. It said leftovers and clean out the fridge.
So I actually did a pretty good job at
Yeah,
cleaning
you
out the
did.
fridge, using up leftovers. I even used some of the frozen meat that had previously been cooked out of the freezer.
Okay.
So I only ate pork ribs yesterday.
Nice.
That's all I had for dinner. I finished them off, and I was stuffed afterwards.
I had an avocado and taco meat and sour cream and cheese. That's what I
Okay,
ate for
Taco
dinner.
Tuesday. There you go. Good Life Granny says, my coffee with caramel macchiato is almost ready.
No,
Dennis says, good morning, Chris and Miriam, along with Lynette from the Totally Awesome Keto Chow storefront. Let's see, Visual Q says, tacos.
Tacos.
Dorothy says, I had a German friend that couldn't pronounce my name, called me Darcy, so you were close, Chris. Lori says, good morning, strawberry chow today, add baking
Nice.
egg white bread. So I mixed up a bunch of, I pre-measured out a bunch of things to make the egg white bread.
Uh-huh.
And yeah, it's like ready to go.
Nice.
I have 4 of them still in
Nice.
that box with all the egg stuff.
Well, that's good because we're almost out of bread.
Oh, and we discovered that there is a shortage of eggs right now
Yeah.
because there's a avian flu going around. They've killed like 6 million chicken laying eggs just in like Iowa over the last
bummer.
like week.
So
and
we should go get some chicks.
We have too many right now, actually.
I know, but we won't tell anybody.
We don't need any more. Shari says regular pudding with butter, allergic to eggs, darn.
Oh.
Stwong says, today I'm sticking to eating what I put in Carb Manager last night. Thanks, Mary.
Yes.
By the way,
Good
speaking
job.
of regular pudding, be aware that if you get the sugar-free pudding from the grocery store, the Jell-O sugar-free pudding, the #1 ingredient is starch.
So you just have to be careful because some of them are better than others.
Yeah, I mean, at least
But
it doesn't
pudding-
have added
like,
sugar,
Sugar-free
but
Jell-O is a lot
it's a lot
cleaner,
better.
but you can find some puddings that are sugar-free that
Yeah.
have no starch in it. But yes, it's really great to make it with Keto Chow. So I'm glad that Shari, you get to make that. It's yummy.
So Charlene says, so I was doing keto and 14-10 fasting for about a month, went camping and blew it. My question is, how does that affect me as I plan to get back on board? Any suggestions? Well, it depends on how quickly you get back into keto. It's related to how long you were doing keto, how short of a window you blew it for, or you didn't accomplish your goals,
Yeah.
and how quickly you got back on. Because there is a process of upregulation of fat receptors on your cell walls that takes about anywhere from 6 months to a year, and that's what being fat adapted is. It's where you're able to directly burn fat as an energy source. You actually stop producing as many ketones when you get to that point because you're actually just a fat burner. If you go off plan for a day or 2 or maybe 3, it's not that big of a deal because it takes that long to switch back to glucose receptors.
Yeah.
The best thing to do in my mind is act like it never happened. Act like
Just get
you've
back on
just been
board.
doing keto the entire time.
Today's the day.
Yeah, don't try to get back on board. Just do it. Maybe switch to eating just carnivore, beef, butter, bacon, eggs.
Another thing you have to consider is how metabolically flexible
That's
you
true.
are. If you have a lot of weight to lose, or if you have you're on diabetes medication and you're just starting to heal your body.
If you
it's
spent 40
gonna
years
take-
screwing up your
It's
metabolism.
gonna take a while,
Yep.
but just keep plugging away. We're rooting for you.
Oh,
and
yeah.
I think you can do it. Just tell yourself, I'm doing it
You
today.
can do it.
Today's the day.
Rick Wynn says, good morning, all. Lori says, I'm in Port Huron, Michigan, home of the Blue Water Bridge to Canada.
Oh.
We have the second bridge to Canada. We have the second bridge to Canada here. The other bridge is in Detroit. Our bridge is gorgeous.
Ah, nice. Do you have any turkeys running across the bridge
What the heck?
to visit
I
your
would
team?
doubt that turkeys would have run across the bridge. And wild turkeys are crazy. Trace has actually made
Turkeys
the
are
pudding with
mean.
canned coconut milk and cream.
And
Oh, that's-
delicious.
There you go.
Turkeys are delicious.
Bonnie's here from Anchorage, Alaska. Awesome.
Hey.
I bet you it's still very snowy up there.
I bet it
You
is.
should send some of that snow to us. Because despite this video in the background where it looks all snowy,
There's not snow.
our snow is starting to melt.
kind.
Something fierce. We're supposed to be in the 70s later this week.
Yeah. I'm going to go on a hike.
Nancy says, do you know which cookie on your website is the most chewy and highest in protein? I want to make them to send to my daughter as she hikes from Mexico to Canada for energy.
Ooh. I don't know.
So let me pull
Just
up
look
that.
up all the cookies.
Bum.
You can add more protein, though. I would
You
add
absolutely could.
collagen when you're cooking it.
Or gelatin.
Gelatin and collagen.
So the one that I've had the most,
Ooh, I really like the gingerbread cookie.
where is it? Let's see if this works.
Da, da, da.
It does work.
Those
trying to
pistachio
remember.
ones are good.
Those are really good.
Yeah, those thumper ones.
So the lemon, no, it's
The
not the lemon
lemon ones
crinkle.
are good.
Lots of cookie recipes. Oh, that's it. The toffee chocolate chip cookies.
Yes.
That's the
because they're
one
really
that
easy.
I've had the most, and I think the salted caramel is the same recipe.
Mm-hmm.
Depending on how you make it up, these are really quite chewy.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just softened butter, granulated sweetener, eggs, chocolate toffee, baking powder, which do be aware, a lot of baking powder does have corn
Yep. Cornstarch.
starch in it.
You can
So-
make baking powder by hand. I think it's cream of tartar and what's the
Baking soda,
baking soda.
sodium bicarbonate.
And yes.
Anyway,
that's what I was
I'd check
thinking
out
of.
that recipe.
Sodium bicarbonate.
Yep. Dennis says,
And one
goat
other
kids?
ingredient that I
Yeah,
can't
goat
remember, so
kids.
that's not very helpful.
So speaking of kids, when I was in Chile, I always thought it was funny at first. People kept on calling us cabros chicos,
Okay, little kids.
little goats. And it's like, why are you calling me a little goat? And then I referred to somebody as a kid in English, and I'm like, wait a minute. It's the same thing.
So you're a little kid.
Yeah. Ethel says, good morning from the Oregon coast. Mary says, I have at
Hello.
least 50 quail that live in our yard. They are Canadian. My neighbor saw the American turkeys one day and said, wow, Mary has to stop feeding those quail. They're huge. That's
I
hilarious.
think you should eat them.
I don't know that you can eat the wild turkeys. You have to get a hunting permit for them.
Oh.
Matt says the collective noun for a group of quail is a flock, covey, or bevy.
Nerd,
Nerd. Sean says, hot water heater went out.
Dry shampoo day.
day.
Sorry.
Meg says, good morning. Sunny and warming up in East Idaho. Going to be a beautiful day. I decided whether to do my fasting blood work tomorrow, morning, or Friday. Oh, guess who's fasting?
Me. I'm doing my
forgot
blood work today.
And drink. Oh, and I had to drink a Zip Fizz after I woke up this morning.
Oh, bummer.
Yeah, there you go. Holly says I had cream that needed to be used. Biscuits and gravy for dinner it was.
Yes.
Delish fried eggs to complement it.
So good. Speaking of Holly, it's her birthday today.
It is her birthday.
1, 2, 3.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Holly. Happy birthday to you. She's celebrating her 21st birthday, just like she does every year.
And we're going to go get blood drawn on lunch for fun.
Yep. Let's see. Lori says, I cannot do that bread with a powder to start. I can only do it with raw egg whites. I'm sticking to regular raw egg whites. That's my success. Don't
Yep.
fix what's not broken, I say.
Right?
Well, what I started doing with the powder, I could never get the powder to mix properly, and so I always ended up with chunks and weird stuff on the sides. So I started doing the Vitamix thing where I would take the 1.5 cups of water, put it into my Vitamix, turn it on low.
Not on
So it's sitting there spinning away, and then I take all of the dry ingredients and I put it into there, and it mixes up, and I have now liquid eggs mixed with the cream of tartar and salt and allulose.
This is Maria Emmerich's recipe.
Yeah. Well, it's actually Indigo Neely's recipe that's adapted from Maria Emmerich's. And then when it's all done mixing, I add 20 grams of whole egg, or like 10 grams of egg yolk would also work. Because if there's any yolk in there, it won't whip. But once it's whipped, you can totally do it.
So you put it from the blender into the mixer, whip it up, and then you add the other stuff? And do you add it as a powder, or do you reconstitute it?
I just have been adding it as powder.
And it's been mixing fine?
Yeah, and that's what keeps the bread from collapsing at the end.
Oh.
And then what I've been doing is, while that's sitting there mixing for 5 minutes, I do another batch in the blender.
Oh, okay.
So I can do 2. And then I start one cooking, and then when that one's 10 minutes into its cook is about when I'm ready to put the second one in.
Okay.
So anyway, let's see. Mary says, love the egg pudding with Keto Chow. Made lemon this week. Melissa says, and tons of maltodextrin in the sugar-free pudding and Jell-O too. Yeah. Now the Jell-O, I haven't seen maltodextrin in.
I have seen it. It just depends on the brand.
Okay.
So you just have to look.
Becca says, I missed last night live stream. Any interesting announcements? No product announcements, if that's what you're asking.
We just talked about random stuff.
Floyd says, does anyone know anything about keto maintenance? You don't have to be as strict with carb intake. My problem is I've been basically doing maintenance and slowly ticking
gaining back the weight.
Mary says, on workout days, I'm never hungry. I think it's because I'm fat adapted. My body just uses what's on board, and so it doesn't get hungry.
Yeah.
Mike says, when I have a day off, fasting the next day seems to help. Oh, yeah, if you take a day off of keto. Yeah. Sean says, wild turkeys looked like a feathered gang. Lance is traveling in Europe and really miss my Keto Chow. First time in 8 months, I haven't had 2 shakes a day. Well, enjoy traveling in Europe.
Yeah, be safe.
Eat a bunch of meat.
Have fun.
Stop by some place that has German bratwurst and just
take some
go
fun
nuts.
pictures.
Shari says, ordered my creamy yesterday. So excited to have my first ice cream in it. Yay. Love the guava grapefruit.
Oh, good.
Visual Keto says, my house is a block from a railroad yard. We had a lot of wild turkeys and deer in the neighborhood.
Wow.
Boy, if those things get in front of a train, the train's not going to stop.
No.
Can't stop, won't stop.
Nope.
Pamela's here. Floyd says, I'm at the weight needed to be in maintenance, but I don't know what to do to maintain. Yeah, just more calories.
Yeah, just
you
a
can
little
probably
bit.
be less strict. Eat a bunch of jalapeno poppers.
Mm-hmm. But I think what matters is that you pay close attention so that you don't go back up again.
So Betsy has been having horrible nightmares lately, but tried Perfect Keto's new sleep product. I don't know if that would be it. So nice not to wake up without nightmares.
Yeah.
Let's see. John says magnesium drops are also great for better sleep. That's true.
Yeah.
Mary says, good morning.
Good morning.
Kim says, happy birthday, Holly. Dorothy says, I slept in until 7 a.m., which I never did. Took magnesium drops last night.
Nice.
Let's see. Mary says, I'm so glad you and 2KK sing happy birthday with a happy, quick tempo. Most people sing it like a funeral march. Okay, so...
Everything Chris sings is a happy tempo.
Oh, absolutely.
Too fast to keep up most of the time.
Ryan, George, happy birthday. I'm not going to actually play it, but yeah, the first guy to ever celebrate a birthday, this one right here.
It's really silly.
Okay, listen,
So he's singing to the guy, and he's like, now I'm going to sing you a song. And he's like, and I'm going to do it really slow. To you, okay? It's really, really funny. Okay. Anyway, you should check that out. I'll put the link into the chat because
we like him.
It's super silly, this. Let's see. Virginia says, Chris and Miriam, are there any doctors in our area who recommend and support keto lifestyle? Are you up north in Salt Lake or in Provo?
In Logan.
In Logan.
So you're going to want to check out Dr. Rigby.
Probably Dr. Rigby.
In Ogden.
Yeah, with Ogden Medical Weight Loss Clinic.
Yes, I'm going to go see him in a couple of weeks, actually. He's going to look at my labs.
He ordered your labs.
Yep.
L3D says, hey, better late than never. Doggone YouTube notification. Larry says, the same thing happens to me. Awesome, Chris. Thank you. I cannot wait to try them. Making 2 loaves today.
Yay.
Radical Geek says, nice. Stowong says, does anyone put their daily minerals into their morning coffee? A lot of people. It can cut the bitterness if that's an issue.
Yep, I've been putting it in water with a couple of lemon wedges.
There you go.
So that's been
Suzanne says, Chris, I use Indigo Neely's butter bun recipe for my bread.
Nice.
Love it. Betsy says, Chris, great multitasking. I do that too. Also, when I am finished cooking, you do not see any remnant or any trace that I was cooking because I clean as I go. And I'm very proud of that fact, and I have a giant head about it.
So proud. You could hear it from 50 miles away. Although every once in a while there is some evidence.
Yeah, like last time there was a piece of paper on the counter.
See?
Voices,
Evidence.
thanks. Yeah, I will look up both Doctor and 2 Crazy Ketos. I have to admit, it makes me nervous adding more carbs. Well, you don't have to add more carbs.
Yeah, I wouldn't. Don't, unless you keep losing weight too quickly and then you want to.
I would just say enjoy more meat.
Just add some more vegetables or meat.
Yep. Yeah. I also like to clean while it's cooking. If it's baking in the oven, why not clean? Anyway, Barb says, good morning. I'm back on Keto Chow and Keto Carnivore. I fell off my strict keto during COVID and now in recovery, long COVID, and cannot get back to my carnivore. The thought of it was nauseating.
That's so hard. I'm sorry.
Dang, that's difficult. I saw an article the other day about a doctor in Arizona they're injecting something in one of your like nerve nodules or something, and it resets the olfactory system, and it only takes a couple of minutes, and he's had, I think it's like a 60% success rate with people who can no longer smell and all of a sudden can, because something's going
I'm sure
weird.
It's experimental still.
Oh, it's very experimental. It's not covered by insurance, and you have to fly down there to do it.
Yep.
Christy
it's
says,
interesting.
Yeah, it was a story about a lady in Utah who had gone down there to do it, and it totally worked for her. Anyway.
That doesn't mean it always works.
No, and that probably isn't the symptoms that they're experiencing. But Dorothy says, I've been putting both electrolytes and minerals in my coffee and water. Oh, yes, and collagen and HVC.
Could be heavy whipping cream. HWC.
Maybe. Christy says, well, I got my Irish cream big bag this morning. I'm so excited.
Nice.
Carrie says, eating German sausages is the worst. No, it's the best. Leslie Radical Geek says, yeah, eat more food, but not more carbs.
Yep.
Dorothy says, ignore the water in my coffee. Of course it has water. Oh, Radical Geek recommends an increase in protein to fat ratio for maintenance.
Oh, yeah, that's a good idea.
Let's see. Barb says, Lynette, does black coffee break my fast? Calories break a fast.
Yep.
Period. End of discussion. Does your black coffee have calories in it? Are you adding any collagen or fat
or
butter or anything to it? Then it would break a fast.
Yep.
If you're just adding salt, generally speaking, it is not going to break a fast.
Yep.
So
Jason Fung and Megan Ramos say that you can have plain black coffee and tea.
Yeah. So, and
water.
it's really that simple. Calories break a fast. Let's see. Shauna says, Christy doing okay. Oh, Virginia says Ogden. Oh, there you go. Yeah, check out.
You're right there.
Yeah, check out Dr. Rigby.
It's Ogden Medical
He'll
Clinic.
actually be
He's
speaking
amazing. He's speaking
at
at Keto
Salt
Salt Lake. Are
Lake.
you coming? I hope you're coming.
Yep. And Miriam wants me to point out that
Yes.
if you are coming to Keto Salt Lake, to make sure that, and you need a place to stay, make sure you use the discounted hotel.
Yes.
It's like $104, $114 a night, which is crazy good for staying downtown. So.
Yep. And we only have the block of rooms reserved for the rest of the week.
Oh, yes.
So.
Till the end of this week. Oh, that's why you need to contact the speakers to make sure.
I gotta make sure they're all
everybody
booked.
has them booked.
Yeah. And we're gonna come out with a schedule soon, so we'll have that. Hopefully today, maybe.
Virginia says, Dr. Rigby at Ogden Clinic?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Dr. Ron, R-O-H-N,
Yep.
spelled Roan, Rigby at Ogden Medical
He's
Weight
amazing.
Loss Clinic.
And he'll do all your labs and everything and just help you out.
Yep.
So great.
Rhonda says, me too, Chris. I clean as I go. And Betsy says, me too.
I do too. I just usually often cook more than one thing
Well,
at one time.
the problem is when you're cooking something right before we're going to eat dinner, and then we eat dinner, and then
I have to
everybody
leave it.
scatters to the wind, and I'm like, guys, Mom cooked. Come help her clean up the counter.
Yeah.
And yeah.
So as long as I don't get my feelings hurt because of your big-headed talk of you do everything clean and I don't.
I'm not talking about you.
I know.
I'm talking about the
That's
kids.
why I'm saying I just got to not do that. Because you just say it so that the kids will realize that they can clean up
Anything.
anything.
Good luck. Granny says, if I use the electrolytes and magnesium in my coffee, do I need daily minerals? If I add daily minerals, do I have overkill with the other two? They're just different. They're different uses. The daily minerals is a good base, mostly with potassium, along with a bunch of other stuff. I don't know that I can issue a blanket statement like that. So the best suggestion I could give to you would be if you go on our page and you go to the daily minerals and you scroll down, there's a link to a blog post right here that talks about what the different electrolytes are and how the daily minerals fit in with all of the Keto Chow electrolyte supplements.
Yep.
So that's something that you're going to have to decide on your own. You could always put it all in the chronometer and see what it's giving you.
Yep.
Mary says, if you have time to lean, you have time to clean.
Oh, yeah. Like lean
Good
on
job
your-
holding up that counter there.
Lean on your counter.
So Shauna says, good morning. Holly says, I put a half teaspoon in my 20 ounces of water. I take to the gym in the morning. I work hard, and I'm very thirsty, so I don't notice any difference. Nice. Luke says, big news, and becoming a federal employee.
Ooh.
For the same job I've done as a contractor for 13 years.
Yes.
You're a real boy.
Which means you're going to have good insurance, right?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Might already have it. Michelle says, I'll have Keto Chow for shakes, but I want to make ice cream now, and I only have a magic bullet. What would the process be? I don't know exactly for the magic bullet, but Wendy and Harry on one of the recent videos, they were making it Keto Chow in a blender and then adding a whole bunch of ice. It's going to make more like a Wendy's Frosty.
Yeah. And one thing you can do if you wanted to put some ice in there and make it into like a Frosty, just put it in the freezer for, I don't know, 15
just
minutes
rotate
and
it.
then kind of rotate it.
And then rotate it,
and then
and then
it'll,
rotate it, and
it'll
then
be
rotate it.
delicious.
That's what Holly used to do here at the office. Let's see. Dorothy says, my fingers are stiff typing. Yes, heavy whipping cream. One of these days I'll stop adding it to my coffee.
That's okay.
Mary says, I'll have to tell my daughter about that. She's a long-term COVID olfactory issues. Things still smell to her, but they smell and taste horrible or undefinable.
Isn't that crazy? It's so sad. Like, stupid COVID.
Yeah. Barb says, I love your playful banter. Ben says, I just finished my red licorice shake. Yummy with heavy whipping cream.
Nice.
Michelle says, you guys make my day feel so much relaxing. I start my work day at 6 a.m., and this is a pleasant, soothing time.
Oh, good. I'm so glad.
Sandy Castle says, will there be a replay of Keto Salt Lake? We are recording it. We haven't announced anything as far as streaming or anything like that at this point. Mike says,
schedule.
I used the link for the room. Thank you for that.
Yay.
Christy says, I'm in West Virginia and I have no way to go to a conference anytime soon. When do you think you'll be able to post the presentations? I don't know.
We'll see.
We haven't made any announcements about that. Jay says, well, so I'm extra not able to go to Keto Salt Lake. I have to hire an architect again.
Oh, no. Maitreya. Sad.
Barb says, I never lost my sense of smell. It was just that any meat was nauseating. But thanks to Keto Chow, I can see hope. Got my banana, vanilla, and raspberry giant bags to see me through my transition and lost my first 5.
Yeah. Try to get sleep.
Madison
Sleep is really
says, I love Keto
important.
Chow shakes. They're the creamiest and remind me of milkshakes.
Yeah.
Just a second. I want to see if I can find that. Smell reset.
Oh,
There
because you
is,
found it interesting?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, you found it.
Yeah.
No, that's
no,
not it.
that's
That's
one's
something
not
else.
one's not it. There it is. It's not there anymore.
Oh? It's
Dr.
a
Kevin
chiropractor?
Ross. It's interesting that that's not there anymore. But this is.
Well, and like we said, we don't know if it's
Yeah.
a real thing or not. Why don't you just put the YouTube in there? The
What's that?
YouTube. Put the YouTube video in there. He's looking at the screen. I should
Okay,
tell you
well,
something cool.
COVID taste and smell recovery.com. Yeah, I don't know if it's legit or not. I just thought that the article
Thought it was interesting.
was interesting. Luke says, oh no, he caught up to the comments. This generally ends poorly. Yes, I did. Two Crazy Kios is here. Chrissy says, I'm going to try to go to Louisville. Do you think anyone would mind if I bring my boys? I don't know.
I want to hold your boys.
So some conferences really don't want you to bring children. Some conferences are okay if you bring a nursing baby. Mm-hmm. Some people get really upset that someone would have the audacity to bring a nursing baby and complain bitterly about it in the comments.
Yep, some people.
Some people don't like babies on planes. Some people don't like snakes on planes.
Snakes?
Yeah.
On planes?
Yeah,
some people don't like dogs on planes, even if they're service animals.
I don't have a problem with service animals. I do have a problem
with dogs
with being allergic to dogs.
So it's not that the dogs are bad. It's
I don't
that
hate the bad
you're
dogs.
bad. It's because your breathing doesn't work correctly.
Yep. Anyway, so I don't know. You can contact Autumn to find out.
Yeah, she'll have a good idea.
Yep.
I would just message her. She's really good at replying back. If you go to her website. Yep.
I can't tell you if the child is at all able to coherently think. Probably would be bored out of its mind.
For sure.
Whereas we were having a just fun time.
Yeah, we had a great time.
Let's see. Keto Life Granny says the whole bad tasting, smelling stuff from COVID lasted about 6 months for me. When I got it the second time, it was horrible, but funnily enough, it didn't stop me from eating.
Yeah.
Okay, well, as Luke said, anything else you wanted to talk about?
Something at the end. Mary Jane said, so glad you said multiple times that magnesium tastes awful.
Yeah.
I was prepared with the chaser.
It does taste awful.
It does taste awful. But it just works really good. So I'm willing to take the awfulness because it works so good. And I take it every day.
Yeah, Maitreya says, nope, but they won't have much to do. Bring me babies. # grandma mode on.
Right. Yeah, they wouldn't have a lot to do.
That's something that when we first had kids, you just don't realize when an older woman of grandmother age or a woman who has had children and her own children suck the life out of her.
That's what we read in a book once.
Yes. Asks, can I hold your baby? They're not saying, oh, hey, if you want to take a break, I will take one for the team and I guess I'll hold the baby. No, it's give me the baby right now.
I have no joy in my life. I need a baby love.
So I'm glad that we understood that from the outset. That when these ladies were asking to hold the baby, and then Miriam will be like, "Oh, Chris, do you want to hold the baby when we're at someone's house?" And I'm like, "No. Why would I hold the baby? You get so much more enjoyment out of that. Why would I even touch the baby? Get the baby away from me."
Okay, so the very first time we took our kids on an airplane flight, Audrey and Haley were what, 6 months old or something?
Oh, they were really old.
They were little.
Yeah.
And there was a toddler behind us, in the row behind us, who just had problems with his ears or something, and he screamed for like an hour and a half. I mean, you don't remember that?
I don't remember that.
I don't know how.
Okay.
But our babies, like, were really good, and they slept, and like they were just sprawled all over us.
Well, that's because we kept them up for 18 hours beforehand.
I don't think that was true. Anyway, for some reason it worked out in our favor that our babies were really good. And that poor toddler just screamed and screamed, and it smelled so bad because he had a bad diaper, and I just felt so bad for that poor mama.
I have a lot of compassion for this. It's like, that's yours, not mine, but I can understand, yeah. Dorothy says, take care, stay safe, and have fun. John says, Sam Jackson hates snakes on plane. Yes, he does. Never seen the movie, though. Shauna says, I love babies. Betsy's got to go. Radical Geek says, bonus, hold baby, get joy, hand baby back when stinky.
Yeah, perfect. Or screaming.
Key Life Granny says, I have 9 grandchildren, and the youngest is 9. Shauna says, when I was a nanny, I flew with a boss and 9-week-old twins from California to Oklahoma. The storm stopped 2.5 hours in Dallas on the tarmac.
Oh, that's a long time with babies.
That sounds terrible.
Yeah.
All right, well, we're going to get off. People ask me, where do you get off? Right now.
Okay, everybody have a good day. Remember to be kind to yourself.
Okay, bye.